Hey guys, it's Micah with the Modern Einstein. I'm continuing on with a math segment on factoring, taking it up a step to the next step with a little bit more complicated method of factoring. If you haven't watched my first video on basic factoring, then you need to watch it first before this will make sense. So if you'll take a look over here, we're doing what's called factoring with the AC method, and I'll explain what that is. If you've taken any algebra class, whether it be algebra 1 or algebra 2, you'll know this might look a little bit familiar to you. If you look at this, x squared plus bx plus c, in a quadratic equation, in a quadratic form, this is your standard form. You have an a, and it has a squared. It's squared, and it has an a and an x that's squared. It has a b, an x that's not squared, and it has a c just being the coefficient or the constant. So if we look down here at this equation, we can split it into the same parts. Instead of a, there's a 2. So here's our a. Instead of a b, there's a 9. Here's our b. And then instead of a c, there's a 9. So here's this equation right here, 2x squared plus 9x plus 9. Now if you remember back to the last video, what we said is we always start a factorization problem by taking out the greatest common factor. But however, in this case, there is no greatest common factor that we can take out that'll go into each of these. So what we do then is we do something called the AC method. And all it is what I just showed you. We can label these A, B, and C. So we take A and multiply it by C, like I did here. 2 times 9, and we get negative 18. So the difference is, since there's no greatest common factor we can take out, this is how we start the problem. And then we go to what we've been doing before. We want to know now, we take this number and we want to know what multiplies to be negative 18 and adds to be our middle number. So here's the t-chart again that I use. What multiplies to be 18, I'm sorry, this should be a positive 18. So what multiplies to be 18 and adds to be 9? Well, 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 plus 3 is 9. So those two numbers qualify. Now, this is where it's different. What we did is we took 2 and 9 up here and multiplied it. And we just found out what multiplies to be our A times C and adds to be our middle number. So what we're going to do now that's different is, now that we have those two numbers that we figured out down here, we're going to take this middle number right here and we're going to split it in half with these two numbers right here. And here's what that looks like. We took this 6 and stuck it in the middle, gave it an x. This 3, stuck it in the middle, gave it an x. Now if you look, mathematically we did not change anything, because 6 plus 3 is 9, just like this. If we were to combine like terms, we would get the same equation. So we're still following the rules of mathematics. So that's another difference. So what we do now is not too much different. All I did down here was this is what's called factoring by grouping. This right here is the same numbers as this right here. I just split it into groups right here and left the plus sign in the middle. So these are the same numbers right here, and I just grouped it like this. Now we do what we've been used to doing. Now we can start where we started the last video, by taking out our greatest common factor. So all this we did right here prepared it so that we could take out a greatest common factor. And let's forget about this half for a second. Let's see what our greatest common factor is for 2x squared plus 6x. let's start, first of all, let's just start with this number 2. What can we take out of a 2 and this number 6? The greatest common factor is 2. Now if you look at the x's, they both have an x to give. So therefore we can take out an x. So we can take out a total of 2x. Remember, we put parentheses, and right here is where we put our leftovers. So when we take a 2x out of 2x squared, we're left with just 1x. When we take a 2x out of 6x, we're left with 3x. Now, if we look at the other half of the problem, we're going to do the same thing. And you can check to see if you did this right, because this number, or this variable and this number, should be the same in this parentheses and this set of parentheses. So if these two set of parentheses are not the same, then you've goofed up somehow. And if that happens, just email me and I will try to help you out. So now it's really simple. All you do is take this 2x and this 3. You put it together in a set of parentheses, and then you take what's common, the x plus 3, and put it in a set of parentheses. I'll show you what I mean here. So all I did was take our 2x plus, there's 2x right here, and this positive 3, and I put it in a set of parentheses. And then I put what was left and put it in a set of parentheses. And that is your finished answer for factoring in the AC method. Like always, if you have any questions, please email me or leave a comment. Email would be the best. Our email is on our YouTube channel. And again, I remind you, if you like the Modern Einstein, you can go to our website. Our link is on our YouTube channel as well. And you can check out our podcast there on our website. So I hope to see you in our other videos to come. Thanks, guys.